Hello, my name is Mark Taylor and this is a boiler for what I think of the book that I'm going to review now. Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. My name is Mark Taylor and I'm the Notch Reader and I'm going to be reviewing The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. So what I'll do is I'll start off by giving you a synopsis and I'll go for this basic synopsis, which was the Goodreads synopsis. At a Montverre, an exclusive academy tucked away in the mountains, the best and brightest are trained for excellence in the grand jeu, an arcane and mysterious contest. Leo Martin was once a student there, but lost his passion for the grand jeu following a violent tragedy. Now he returns in disgrace, exiled to his old place of learning with its political career in tatters. Montverre has changed since he studied there, even allowing a woman, Claire Dryden, to serve in the Grand Jeu's highest office of Magister Ludi. When Leo first sees Claire, he senses an odd connection with her, though he's sure they have never met before. Both Leo and Claire have built their lives on lies, and as the legendary Midsummer Game, the climax of the year draws closer, secrets are whispering in the walls. Okay. Now, normally when I review a book, I can sit here and give you themes of that book. Now, those themes may be based on romance, lovers, or they may be based on family unity, or friendship, or adversity. So yeah, there's generally a theme to any novel. I mean, sometimes there's more than one, but there's a main one and a couple of others. Unfortunately, in The Betrayals, the novel is a right mess. Nothing seems to work. Everything seems to be disjointed. It's like a cake. They've used all in one method, but forgotten to how to finish mixing it. So when you get it, it's all lumpy here, lumpy there, uncooked here and uncooked there. And this is how I feel, as I said, this is how I feel how this book is. Okay, so firstly, there's Minister. Now, he asked to resign and exiled to this castle in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, which he went there to train this game Grand Jeu, which is never explained. It's a bit of maths. Is it dance? Is it Christian? It never really explains. It's like we've got this game that supposedly forms this major part of the story, and it's just there in the background. There's no rules. There's no nothing. I mean, I don't want to hold this, but I'd like to know how it's played, sort of thing. So, right, so there's that. And the government seems to be an authoritarian government, so they want to dominate the culture. So they are going to raise taxes on literature from foreign nations more than the local nation. And that's why the minister resigns. Well, gets asked to leave. He sends a letter to the leader, and he gets sent to this place. So he goes back to this castle in the middle of nowhere, and this place, as I said, teaches this grand jeu. Now, there's also the character, the rat, and I don't know whether there's a version where the rat plays more of a part in the story. The writer just thought, oh, I've got this slight problem at the end of the novel, how am I going to solve it? Oh, I'll put this character in. Now, both of those could be right, because if the character's been edited out and suddenly realise, oh, they're in this part of the story, did it need, so we can't get rid of it completely. I think they should have tried to write a slightly different ending. I think there would have been one possible. And as well there, you've got the head teacher, the first woman in this. She's got secrets of her own, and it's sort of, Stella says she's got this game to write, this Midsummer Game, which again, there's angst she's writing it, as well as there's angst of the minister writes it, because it does a two timeline. It sort of goes backwards and forwards. There's no difficulty to find out where the timeline is and working out characters that we're talking about, but as I said, so you've got this game, and they spend ages working on this game. There's chapters where they're just studying how this game is, and this, that, and other, and just trying to look, well, what they're doing. Are they just making this up, or they're just... And they use this math puzzle about the Bridge of Königsberg, which is this town that was in Germany, is now part of Russia, and the puzzle is there's 7 bridges. Can you get across all the bridges and not retrace your path? Supposedly it's a famous math puzzle. So anyway, so there's this in the background, there's some music in the background as well, so it sort of gives this kind of bass music thing. And the way the characters sort of interact is, but instead you get both perspectives, so you'll get part of the scene from, say, the minister, and then the Manchester lady would come in, and you would get her scene but never got a thing. So it does work that way, and you're trying to work out where the story's set, which is another thing. You're trying to say, well, is this story set in Germany in the 1930s? Is it Russia? Because there's sort of implications of the controlling of the state and things like that. Or is it modern day, synonym for modern day, where any cultural wars are happening? So there's that sort of thing. So and you get this sort of story, the plot lines of everybody. I suppose the story really should have been called Secrets in the Game That You're Never Going to Find Out how it's played. That's how I think is a good description of the book. But as it says, there is an ending. Whether the ending sort of works or not, there is open ends. And as I said, I don't mind stories that have open ending. Usually when that happens, the themes are more titled. So you're trying to work out what the themes of the story is, what the writer's trying to get at from the story, so you can work out what the end is. All in all, a book that, as I said, could have done with a bit of editing or a bigger version. Maybe it's an idea to have a writer's cut in the Betrayals like they do in movies. You know where you go there and there's an extra 5 minutes that alters the story completely, and I think this probably would get that. But if that does exist, it probably needs to be in the final, because I said the story's a hot mess and you don't know what's happening, this, that and the other. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad book. I think for the right person, as I said, it would be a great book, but for me it felt like the publishers had paid for this book and we're going to release it even though it's a hot mess. So I mean, give it a go, see what you think. I mean, everybody's entitled to an opinion. So if you like my comments on this video or you want to interact, put like, and if you want to put any comments in my answers to the thing, and if you can see anything if you think the story has good points, which I'm quite hoping to see, if you've got another perspective, put in the comments below. We can have a free and fair discussion about that. Okay, thanks for watching. My name is Nots Reader. Keep safe and treat everybody fairly.